Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
So there is no way you can't tell that this isn't a simulation.
There's going to be another false flag that people don't anticipate.
Celebrities who sold their souls for fame.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow, but we all know what we're here for. Let's get into it.
Outside of the human, what is the most impressive species to you? The most impressive animal in the animal kingdom?
Did you know the crow steal? The crow will rob people for jewelry. If you make a crow, listen, if you make a crow your friend, a crow will make you rich, right? A crow's got buried treasures. Listen, if a crow eats some food, did you know crows make tools? They make tools. Nigga, they make tools to open shit up and to get in shit. And crows got very good memory.
Y'all tell me why I'm in Five Below and my daughter's like, ooh, look.
I see it everywhere.
Girl, we are not
Target.
getting that. No way. Look how they tried to dress it up and make it all pretty. Nuh-uh. And a Ouija board is still in a Ouija board. I can't believe they didn't set this out here, y'all. They are promoting this to
and it's $6.
kids. Just casually have it sitting outside of the kids' out. That's crazy.
You've spoken to enough people.
Yeah.
I want to hear now what you really.
Yeah. Why does every single time Erica Kirk shows up in a city somewhere within a week, you know, where a college is, within a week, the leadership at the Turning Point college thing breaks away and steps down? Are they all wrong? Are all these kids wrong? You know what I mean? Like, why are they so adamant on not trying to find out more about what happened? Why is she using, and it's on video. It's on, you could see, the human eye could detect it. But we literally have it on video. Why is she using Vicks to make herself cry? I have not seen, and again, I have not seen this woman ugly cry once. And she can't get away from the camera. I never see her with her kids. Not that I want to see her kids. These kids shouldn't be on camera and stuff. But like, man, she spends a lot of time away from them. Yeah. It's off. And God, if I'm proven wrong about that in the future, trust me, you know me, I will apologize from the rooftops. Yeah. And if that requires me to apologize to her face, I'll do it. Yeah. But it's off. The investigation's off. The zip up, shut, closed, no questions asked, here's off. And it just feels like a theatrical performance at every fucking level. And there's some thoughts I have that I'm gonna not say, but I'll just say that extends everywhere related to this thing. Yeah. It feels like we have become in society the Kardashians, but it's like with politics now. And some of it's real. It's all fake, but like some of the implications are real. Like someone dies. That's real. Yeah. And that is not a good thing. That's just the downstream culture that's been created. I find most of it like pretty gay, to be honest. You know, it's just it's like really, you're waking up wondering, you know, what some influencer is going to say about another political influencer. Like, you know, go for a walk, go to the gym, spend time with your kids, your dog. Like, it ain't that important. Yeah, you know,
we have the internet. It's really not. But like, remember there was a time where this was before my time, right? Not before my time, but I was young. I was under 18, right? I couldn't vote. But there was a time where we just didn't talk politics. We didn't talk, maybe we talked politics, but we didn't let people know who we voted for so outingly now, right? So outingly. People are driving down the street with their truck with flags. People are, you know, got the signs in their front yard. People are so out with it now, when before it was such a private thing. Like, you didn't even ask somebody who you voted for, but now you can just look at somebody and tell who they voted for. It's WWE.
On there that literally, if you sever these cords, no internet for everybody. So you guys constructed that. What else is really down there? A lot of language that we use, especially in the monetary system, is based on water. You need to be what? To buy a house or a car, liquid. You put your money into a bank, like a river bank. currency, like a current that flows, right? So these are all languages or words of water. So maritime admiralty law is what we base our monetary system on, or essentially our monetization of ourselves, because they all monetize us. Being that the law of the land is different from the law of the sea, that's what governs and what they worship us in a sense. So when you're in your mother's womb, you're in water. Everything is like a ship, right? So friendship, relationship, you are born, you are birthed by a dock, like a ship being docked. So your birth certificate is your manifest, because when a ship docks, you have to know what's on that ship, which is your manifest, which is your birth certificate.
Have you heard of the Lake Peigneur incident in Louisiana?
No.
Underneath this lake was a vast amount of salt. So a salt mine company started salt mining underneath this lake. And it just so happened this lake was also on an oil reserve. So Texaco was drilling in this lake. They accidentally pierced into the salt mine. And at the time, there's 55 salt mine workers down the salt mine. All of a sudden, they just heard, and then all of a sudden, it's like, the water started just gushing in. Luckily, all 55 salt miners were able to get out. The guys that were running the barge up top, they just heard this clanking sound, like, what in the world? And they kept on drilling. And all of a sudden, this small whirlpool started forming in the middle of the lake. And then all of a sudden, it started getting faster and faster. They all escaped, but it ended up sucking in the entire barge. This little island that was on the lake sucked that in. At one point, it created the largest waterfall in Louisiana. It was literally a 200-foot waterfall in the middle of this lake, sucking in the entire lake.
So details about Peter Till's secret society has been revealed. So the Dialogue Society is a private, invitation-only network co-founded in 2006 by Palantir Chairman Till. You know, and they hold secret meetings all over the world that are completely off the record, where they obviously talk about technology and finance and how to control our world and building cults, you know, everything. You know, how to control society, just normal everyday stuff. You know, a meeting of the puppeteers of our society. But a directory in the website's code was revealed by a Swiss hacker. The next retreat that they're going to have is actually in Dublin, Ireland, and it's going to have people from all over politics, tech, celebrities, you know, multiple people from the Trump administration, NATO's top U.S. commander. But, you know, some of the very normal things to talk about during the conference that's happening this year is navigating World War III, battlefield technology, money, does it buy happiness, bring back nuclear, build a cult, which is probably the best one that's going to happen this year in my eyes. Because of course you want all kinds of new information on how to build cults in today's age. And that last one is actually going to be moderated by the founder of the Christian networking site Pray.com. But you should get online and look at the members that were exposed in this not so secret society now.
LifeLog is a Pentagon program that wants to basically collect all your data for your whole life. What day did the government stop the LifeLog project?
DARPA shut down the LifeLog project February 4th, 2004.
Now do me a favor and look up what day was Facebook registered as a business.
February 4th, 2004.
The exact same day.
Shit's getting weird. Part Infinity.
I just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare.
I literally saw this video like 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, music industry at it again. This is the musician that sings that song, Life Goes On and On and On and On. I'm sure you've heard it, okay, amongst other songs, but that's like one noticeable one. And then I found out today that he died in a helicopter crash. I'm not saying this is a conspiracy or anything like that. I'm just saying that's where my mind goes. Not everything is a conspiracy, okay? I'm well aware that not everything is a conspiracy. Just when things happen like this in the way that they happen, sometimes it fuels the conspiratorial mindset, the conspiratorial shenanigans. That's all I'm saying. Because the thing about these industries and stuff, like, there's so much money involved that if somebody wanted to do something, they could do it. And you could probably get away with it because nobody would know. It's hard to trace it back, and it sounds so far-fetched. So all I'm saying is I can't prove it, nor can I disprove it. But the timing is definitely weird. I gotta go.
This is why I always say, like, and there's somebody going to come in and take his spot. There's still people in line to get into that wicked industry. Right? They get a peek behind the blinds like he did. He didn't like it. He tried to shut those blinds back. But once you get that peek in and you come in to party and you get that #1 album and millions of dollars, there's no getting out. There's no getting out. There's only one way out. Either you're going to be freaking crazy or clone like Kanye or Britney Spears, Justin Bieber. You're going to be like that. Cat Williams, drug through the mud forever. Or there's going to be an accident.
Yeah, pay attention. This is when Malik Beasley went on Neon, talked about gambling, and then he was under federal investigation for gambling. This is how they silence people who try to expose them. Listen to what they say, though. Just listen closely, gang. That's all I want you to do. Listen closely.
Bets.
One of them hella bets?
Yeah. Like they bet.
Oh my god.
They be coming
Honestly, the parlays changed the game, bro. Like
It's annoying, right?
It's annoying as hell. Like,
Because you're playing a game, bro.
to me, this is a real thing that I want to get out to the world. Like,
Pay attention right here. Pay attention. What he says. Pay attention.
I don't think basketball should be under entertainment. I think like 4 or 5 years ago they made it entertainment. I think it should be a sport. I think it should be real. Like, I love, like, basketball is my life, bro. I've grown up on it. You know what I mean?
What did he just say? Sport shouldn't be an entertainment company. It should be real. For him to say it should be real, that means that it's not real. What the fuck are we talking about? It should 4 or 5 years ago, it was longer than that, but they identified as an entertainment company. It's not a real sport. And they talking about parlays and shit. And then he got silenced after mentioning this. It's not real, guys. Santa Claus is not real. They are an entertainment company. Get your money, but know what the fuck it is.
Have you paid attention to what happened during the World Cup opening ceremony? Because it may have been the biggest ritual ever broadcast on television. When you look at the footage, it becomes obvious in seconds. Billions of people were all watching their screens at the exact same moment. At that moment, everyone was focused on the same event. That collective attention is the most powerful form of energy that exists, and those who know how to harness it can do whatever they want with it. And everything we saw on stage seemed to confirm it. Belinda opening the ceremony with the triangle in the eye, the world resting on top of a pyramid, Shakira dressed in red holding a golden trophy. Some people even noticed that it supposedly wasn't the real Shakira singing that day. There were also symbols that have appeared at every major event for years, very often during concerts, and always the same ones. And the most disturbing part was the first goal of the tournament, scored by Julian Quiñones, who immediately followed it with the compass sign. The very first goal almost looked like it was part of the script. The entire ceremony clearly looked like a ritual, at least to many people. I'm not the only one who noticed it, and that's how it works. The bigger the event, the more people are synchronized at the same moment, and the more powerful the energy produced becomes. And that's why these symbols always reappear during the biggest events on the planet, because those signs are how people show their allegiance and how they supposedly recharge themselves. The most disturbing part is that while everyone thinks they're simply watching a show, they're actually participating in something much bigger without realizing it. Their attention, their emotions, their energy, everything is directed toward the same place at the same time. It's not just an opening ceremony. It's the biggest ritual of attention ever organized, and only a few people are able to see it.
What's that? Oh, license plates are going to now be equipped with 5G built into them for various reasons, and I'm sure some reasons we're not being told. Tell me more! This is absolutely wild because people are reporting when they're going in, they're getting a new license plate, they're seeing barely on the side of it showing 5G, and you can see it just a couple of times, but it's super small. But they're not mentioning it to people when they go in to get these license plates, and they're actually called smart license plate. But essentially what they're saying they're for online is that they're for tracking purposes, not necessarily tracking the person, tracking whether or not if the vehicle was stolen, of course. Because then the person that stole the vehicle can be tracked down. But of course they're saying the only other purpose for this license plate, smart license plate, is because it will allow people to be able to apparently go online and register easier. Okay.
I mean, think about it, y'all. How many out of 10 cars get stolen? Maybe 1 out of 10, right? That's a statistic we can probably look up. Let's just say 1 out of 10 cars get stolen. That's kind of high, right? 10%. 1 out of 50 cars actually get stolen. And I'm sure it goes up in different regions, different areas. But like, why would they make this huge investment, putting 5G chips, which is a lot of money, into your license plate for a 1 out of 50 thing, right? It ain't to track stolen cars. It's to track us, see what we're up to.
How do you feel about him saying that Martin tried to put him in his first dress?
I can't say that Martin tried to put him in his first dress, and he can't say that either. He's not in a position to tell a lie. He's in a position to tell the truth. The man that's talking is Martin Lawrence. They're listening to Martin Lawrence with Cat Williams' face on.
You feel like Hollywood has got like a thing where they're trying to put black men in dresses?
No, they're forcing people to not be able to be themselves. But I'm recognizing all of them, and that's a lie. That wasn't Cat Williams. That was Martin Lawrence.
So that was Martin Lawrence that really did the interview.
It's called a facelift, baby.
So,
We've been doing facelifts since World War I.
And Martin Lawrence accused himself or of putting himself in a dress.
Basically, he basically vindicated himself of something that he's been bothered him that he put on a dress.
I was about to close it because I'm like, I know the side effects of chemo: vomit, nausea, and something made me read them. And I read it and I go, wait a second. The side effects of chemo exactly mirror the symptoms of tumor regrowth. So how do we know what's what? And I was like, okay, what if I go and detox her off the chemo? What if it's not the regrowth of tumor? What if that's inflammation? What? And so I took her to Mexico. Game changer. And that's what it was. They called it pseudo progression.
Based on my last video, it's pretty obvious that many people are aware that celebrities and famous people, politicians, many of them are just actors. They're playing a role, and this role that they're playing serves a greater, higher agenda that they are a part of, and it's nefarious. But I want to add another layer to this and talk about the fact that many of them are inverted, and I'm talking about in their gender. I know this may be hard to grasp or even believe, because I, at first, didn't want to even entertain this idea. I didn't believe it. I didn't think this was possible. But after learning about the secretive belief systems of these people, it does make a lot more sense. If you look at the deities that they worship, it makes a lot more sense. But there's actually one other factor that I have recently learned about why they do this, why they invert their gender. And that's because in order for the entity to get through to this dimension, it needs to distort the frequency around how they present themselves. They wouldn't be able to operate and live and function in whatever ways that they do through the physical bodies that they're using in this dimension.
How does a person get possessed by a demon? And then how does he know he's possessed?
There's three ways. The first is you commit some grave sin, like abortion, murder, engaging in the occult arts, selling your soul to the devil, stuff like that. So you do something really bad. The other is something really disordered or grave has happened to you. About 50% of our caseload are women who have been psychologically or physically abused in a grave fashion. And that disorder is the domain of the diabolic. And so that opens the person up to getting possessed. And people say, well, that doesn't seem fair. Well, that's true in one sense. On the other hand, Christ permits it. And what you find very often, especially the women, you find this, as they climb their way out, they become some of the most holy people you'll ever meet. Because the amount of virtue they have to obtain to engage in the battle becomes pretty significant.
Went home and I got my scans and they were like, well, the lesions, all of them except for one shrunk. And so this must not be cancer. When I played pickleball and I did like a lot of sweating, I'm just trying to remember the whole thing. I went to the beach, I grounded at the water's edge, I ate lunch, I did a lot of research, Dr. Jack Kruse rabbit holes, and then I would go back to the room, I'd change my stuff, I'd go to Sunset, I'd eat dinner first, then I'd go to Sunset, and then I'd be back in bed by like 7:30, and I was out, and I'd get like 11 hours of sleep. I did that for 2.5 weeks. I went home and I got my scans, and they were like, well, the lesions, all of them except for one shrunk, and so this must not be cancer.
Guys, I mean, it's so crazy. Like, what doing things that make you happy, how powerful they are. Like, we get so caught up with life, with work, with bills, with everything that we forget to do things that make us happy, right? Do things that make us happy. Not do things that make your kids happy. Not do things that make, like, do things like me, going to hike or going to run the mountain for just a quick 30 minutes. Makes me happy. That's something that I get joy out of. That is very powerful. Like, I remember my dad, y'all, he worked, man, forever, right? Forever. You know, he'd go to work at 12 o'clock at night and get out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Just long days of work, forever, y'all, forever. You know, and he was always, you know, grumpy. He was always angry. I would go hide in the, when I'd see him pull up, I'd come in my room and shut my door. Like, I just didn't want to be around, right? But once he retired, he ended up having prostate cancer right when he retired, y'all. But once he retired, it's like a completely different person, right? Now he's sleeping in, like he's doing things all day. He always did things after work, but now he does it, what he used to do on the weekends, now he does it Monday through Sunday, like just outside doing yard work, painting things, you know, doing things. Changed his life, y'all. It's like we get so distracted with life that we forget to focus on ourselves. And that's very important. It doesn't got to be a 10-hour thing throughout the day, y'all. It's just a quick 30-minute, you know, whatever you like. Yeah, everyone's different.
Scientists have just found that the San Andreas fault line is under the most pressure that it's ever been in, and it is now lined up with a second fault line right next to LA that could rip open at the exact same time. So they actually built a model of the last 1,000 years of earthquakes on this fault line, and the stress on it right now is about a quarter higher than the worst it's ever been. Okay. They're also saying that there's one spot right near LA where the San Andreas and a second fault line called the San Jacinto basically meet, and scientists are calling it an earthquake gate. So that's cool. They're saying that whenever both fault lines are stressed to the same level, that gate can open and let a rupture jump from one fault line straight onto the other.
New this morning, researchers in Hawaii say 2 of California's fault lines have hit or gone beyond their highest stress levels in the past 1,000 years.
So obviously we see the problem. But happening right now, they're saying that both fault lines are loaded to almost the exact same point, so they could rip together or even all at once across 3 different branches. The last big one that happened in 1857 tore over 200 miles, but it stopped right at that gate. This time, if it were to happen again, the area it would hit is packed with millions of people. The one thing that scientists cannot tell us right now is when, because earthquakes can still not be predicted.
There's a WWE wrestler, Danhausen, who uncursed the Knicks. And apparently after he uncursed the Knicks, you guys won every single game. Jalen, I know that you are a WWE fan. Did this have something to do with it as well?
At first, I was more skeptical, but I mean, you have to believe it now.
Okay, yeah, now you gotta believe it.
You have to believe it now.
It did work.
This should be all the proof that you need on how rigged all of this stuff is, on how scripted all of this stuff is, because again, why are they continuing to promote a WWE wrestler when it comes to professional sports? Why are they continuing to mention how Danhausen uncursed the Knicks and that's how they won their championship? I mean, come on.
Like some
they are
voodoo
laughing at
witchcraft
each and
stuff
every
too.
one of you at this point with all of the things they continue to do, because the NBA is showing you that they are no different than the WWE. This is why they are promoting a WWE wrestler like this and talking about how Jalen Brunson is a big WWE fan. I mean, he's even been on WWE television before. All of this stuff is scripted.
You know, your DNAs are an antenna.
Yeah, I know that.
So certain parasite, and you have bacteria in you.
Lots of it.
They understand these principles. So they've been cultivating certain parasites that they say stimulate evolution in people.
Wow.
So that's part of the alien. And that's going to be, I promise you, well, I can't promise, but I bet you.
Can you pull up Baldur's Gate 3 Parasites? You've literally described my favorite video game is all about letting parasites into your fucking brain that give you more powers.
That's exactly right. And
look, pull up that picture of the brain. That's so in Baldur's Gate, it's called illicit
I played
powers.
I played it, and I got illicit powers.
I did too. I got my whole brain was corrupted by the end of the
Cthulhu
game.
face. The other thing is that cuttlefish look.
And you could fuck him. Did you know that? You could fuck him.
Okay.
Show them. They might not have seen it. I don't. Spoiler.
You can fuck the bear in it. It's crazy.
I didn't know you could fuck the bear. You can fuck the bear?
Yeah, the guy turns into a bear. There you go. Now imagine what those. Imagine the hentai.
The mind flower.
Pizza Hut. Speaking of parasites.
One toxoplasmosis. Cat buttholes are smeared on all of our pepperoni. This is the best. I wish it wasn't a lady. My guy was a dude. Banged him.
I mean,
yeah. Hello.
Look, we're getting off track here.
No, we're not. We're on. Now
Look
we're
at the
back
firm
on
grip
track.
she has on that fucking.
She's like yanking his.
You mind if I yank your face, Cox?
Here we go. Look at this. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Analyzing the formation of precious metals.
America, why oh why have you got so many cereal choices? It's unreal. Yeah, I got Fruit Loops here. I don't even think Fruit Loops are legal in the UK. Look at those colours. I've never seen cereal with as bright fluorescent colours as that before. 100% straight chemical that in it. Gee, I just realised it's not this entire row behind me is cereal. You've also got this side as well. Insane. I've just got to a section of bagged cereal.
What the cheap stuff.
Never seen
Tastes better,
cereal in a bag the size of my entire torso before. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me. But is everyone actually eating this kind of cereal? Go big or go home is the American motto.
Got a question. It is ridiculous, y'all, the overconsumption we do. But don't worry, that World Cup, people coming over to try our food, it's coming, y'all. I'm so busy. I'm so tired, y'all. I'm trying to get on at least a schedule with this channel over here, like consistently. But I have all those clips. I just got to put the video together and get it reacted for you guys.
With that too, what you just said, them trying to teach everybody through symbolism. What if these aliens are returning back, like everybody said, like they were here thousands of years ago, and what if they were like, we taught y'all a language. That's why y'all did hieroglyphics. Why did y'all forget the language we taught you, and we're trying to teach you again through these crop circles that are the same symbolism as the hieroglyphics?
Because everybody the people that they talked to before is not all the same people that's on the planet now. Everybody wasn't on this planet. It's a lot of the different races that was on this planet. I keep saying there was about 5 different black races on this planet: Egyptians, Lemuria, Atlanteans, Olmecs, and there was another one, and that was it. So like, and that was like possibly hundreds of millions of years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. So like that kind of time, like if you went to an island and you go to talk to a bunch of people who don't know English and you finally teach them English for 50 years and you leave and your family's bloodline comes back in 150 years, of course it's going to be a different language.
What is the likelihood that if it already exists, it could already exist, what is the likelihood in the next 5-10 years there's going to be mosquito drones this small that they'll fly into the negotiation room and just sit there? You know, let's say, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what they're going to do. Military mosquito-sized drones to go and track anything and everything that's being said and leak the information.
I wouldn't put... if they're not already in the late stages or they don't have one, they'd be very, very dumb. Like, I'm pretty sure that they're almost there. You remember in
but you could never tell anybody about it. Is that it, Rob?
Look at that guy.
Look at that guy. What does this drone do? Tiny, quiet enough to be called mosquito drone? Black Hornet. What does it do, Rob? Black Hornet. Oh, okay. Can you play it? Actually play. Let's listen to the audio. Yeah, for sure this is coming. So it has the camera in there. Look at the camera, the way it comes out. Boom. It's like the mosquito's dangling, but it's the camera that comes out and then it records.
I wouldn't put it past. It's
Flight computer, you can make it so flippin' small that it's not even detectable.
Wait a minute, hold on, let me get this straight. You telling me a day after America and Iran agreed to end this war, 2 nuclear bombers crashed, one in Siberia and one in California, and nobody thinks that's suspicious? Nobody thinks that this is odd? Especially with all of Israel screaming that America betrayed them and Trump fucked us. And then the following day, 2 nuclear-capable aircrafts crashed, and nobody thinks that there's some funny business going on?
You used to cut coke?
Yeah, we used to cut coke too. We used to make that up.
Real quick, y'all. I think that, like, say if somebody did shoot those down, I don't even think they would tell us. I think they would just say a mistake happened. Our pilot, I don't know, fell asleep, crashed, right? Even though another airliner from another country shot it down, I don't even think they would tell us. I don't think they would tell us.
A key, we take out 40%, 400 grams and just put in 400 grams of cut.
What kind of cut? Explain that. That.
It's acid. It's a acid. It's like it's a supplement for bones. Like people that have problems with their bones.
Right.
So that's basically that's what they use. The main ingredient.
Calcium.
Kind of like calcium. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you break down a whole key. You put it where it's like kind of like a little grainy, not too powdered out because that's how you lose, but a little bit grainy. You know, I remember being like that with a sauce or something. You know, trying to just like that. And I was only young.
So you had the shaker.
Yep, shaker.
The sifter.
Yep, and basically you break it down like that. You mix them both like that. You know, and then you make these molds. You make a mold like this to, so you can reshape it again. You put a bunch of towels, those blue towels for painting and all that stuff. You put it in. You mix it up with some acetone, the two, the powder and the vitamin for the bones.
So there is no way you can't tell that this isn't a simulation. I mean, like, where is everybody constantly going? Think about it. It's like when you're in GTA and the people never stop walking. They never stop driving. Buses never stop going. People are never not standing in the same spot, literally, in the same fucking area.
Finally, someone said it.
We got into the habit of buying junk fast foods that have no actual food in them. We buy gallons of poisonous household cleaners when one degradable soft soap will do. We are poisoning our homes and wasting our hard-earned money for no good reason. Why? Because the advertising industry tells us to. They just want you to buy stuff. For example, if a company pollutes the environment or uses bad business practices, if you don't buy their stuff, they will change. If you don't want food with chemicals or GMOs in it, then don't buy it. The minute we start taking responsibility and spending our money wisely, every politician, every corporation, and leader around the world is going to know that we have woken up.
There's going to be another false flag that people don't anticipate, which is an attack on America's financial infrastructure. Okay, so the data centers that undergird the banking system. You have a bank account, right? And it's all stored on a server somewhere. What happens if that server gets blown up?
Money's gone.
Then your money is gone, right? And so I point this out because America has a huge problem. There's too much liquidity in the system. So if you're trying to run a financial system, you can't have that because if there's too much liquidity, no one actually works, right? If you got $1 million sitting in a bank, you're like, okay, I could just sit at home and gamble with it or do OnlyFans, or I could go to work from 9 to 5, put up with a boss, do work that is meaningless, and get paid nothing for it, right? So you have the situation where no one wants to work anymore. So the only solution to that is you just destroy the banking system. You burn out people's cash. So now they're forced to work. You've got these boomers. These boomers might have like $3 million in a bank account, and then much more in stock market, right? And then much more in real estate. And so they can just support their kids and their grandkids. You can't have that, right? If you're going to transition back to a manufacturing economy.
The thong makes sense now, huh? That's crazy. You know he's got a big podcast or a movie role. Something's coming his way for that. Something. He's gonna be have the top podcast on YouTube or something. Grammy, something's coming for ASAP Rocky.
Not have a mirror in the bedroom where you sleep anymore.
Why do you not like mirrors?
There are lots of reasons. When you look back at Victorian morning period, specifically, you stop your
That's
clocks,
creepy.
you cover your mirrors. And why? Because you don't want the spirits to get trapped.
Hold on. Trapped where?
In the mirror, it's believed that it is a vortex, that things can come through and things can get trapped in. You are in a dark room and you're looking in a mirror. If you look long enough, it is said that you can see things moving on the other side. And once you know that those things are there, they will notice you.
Oh, shit.
I had a bed that had a mirror on the headboard. I laid down to go to sleep, but I woke up because something slapped me across the face. I was alone.
You think something from the mirror?
I mean,
slapped
I don't
you?
know where else it would have come from.
Was this just like a bad dream that felt real?
No, there was a mark across my face. My next move was to call the man that is now my husband. And I yelled at him and told him he was the worst person in the history of ever. Because if he had not told me that they could come through, maybe that would not have happened.
So apparently this video is viral right now in India. They captured a creature that looks like a Yeti. But watch. Dude, move out of the way. I can't see anything. Can you move out of the way? I don't know.
Just everybody on their phones, y'all. Like, and they're never gonna look at those pictures again. They're never gonna look. They're gonna put it on Snapchat. Everyone's gonna skip past. I don't want to see this. Right? It's just your eyes.
What do you guys think of it? I barely got to see it. Did you guys see it? What do you guys think? Is it real? Is it fake? I don't know. A lot of people were filming though.
And this is how I know none of this shit is real. Every time I go into CVS, it ain't nobody in there, like maybe 2 or 3 people. I've gone to CVS so many different times of the day. And this isn't just today or recently. This is something I've noticed for years. The CVS employees are always stocking. They are always putting stuff on the shelf. There's nobody ever really in CVS. But why every time I go in here to get something, it's never anything on the fucking shelves? I really feel like a lot of people and shit be fake. And this is for all my woo-woo people, because y'all probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, none of this shit exists until I arrive. These people were just placed here. I'm not even sure if, now that I'm sitting outside of my car, are they even real? Nothing exists but me and what it is that I went in there to receive or get. Nothing else exists. Everything else in front of me is a play. Okay, that's my little rant.
I have talked.
I gotta have him on my show, but he wrote it in a book, and Paul Bonacci talked about it, about Hunter S. Thompson shooting gay snuff films of boys. Where did Hunter get money from near the end when he couldn't write no more? As everybody knows, he wasn't able to write anymore, and it's in a diaper and this and that. And
Yeah, what
blah,
happened
blah.
to him?
Carried a doctor bag of drugs around. Never caused him any problems until one time a chick said something and the police raided his home, but he was fine. He didn't do any time. But he's legendary for his doctor bag of drugs. If you put in Johnny Knoxville, this is how I prove. So this is what I accept as evidence, which I want to make clear is not going to be good court evidence. But this is the evidence. This is how, just if you understand, like, why am I saying this or whatever. If you put Johnny Knoxville's talking about meeting Hunter S. Thompson, I'm like, Hunter S. Thompson's a piece of shit. Silly story. It's all about Johnny Knoxville's hanging out with Sean Penn and all these famous people, and Hunter's all sad at a bar, and somebody's holding his doctor bag for him. He's still carrying a fucking bag of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I don't think I'm just gonna stand there. I'm out of there. Especially if I have my young ones with me. That's not good. That's a red flag.
Oh my god.
Usually people who passed away are, their energy around them is very low, and they always look confused. When you see a person who passed away, they don't usually know they're dead. And we're gonna keep it simple here. We're gonna talk about the fourth dimension. We're not gonna talk about hell states or none of that. We're talking simple when a person dies and they go to the next dimension, which will be the fourth dimension. How do you know they're dead? They usually look confused. like 99% of people, they look confused because 99% of people not really into spirituality like that. I would even say today in the world, you probably got maybe a good 1.5% of people in the whole world that's really on some spiritual stuff. Right? I'll be nice and say 2%. You know what I'm saying? But the vast majority of the world is Catholics, Muslims, and Christians. So usually when those type of people pass away, they are walking around confused. And you can tell just by the way they act, what they're trying to do. Like you'll see them at a bus stop, you know, patting their arms because they're cold, or they'll just be waiting and looking down the street. And they'll start looking at the people around like, why y'all sitting down? And they're saying this out of their mouth, but they're acting like this. You know, and I just observe people like this before. They look at people and they're at the bus stop looking like, man, when is this bus coming? And the bus never comes. Or they're at a train station looking at down the railroad tracks. You know, I've even seen people jump on a railway and go running down it looking for the train. The train never comes. Or you can see people in airports even looking out the window. Why is no planes in the sky? Why everybody sitting around? They're confused. They don't know they're dead. Right? So that's usually how you can tell. The person that's dreaming, they're acting regular in the spirit world, believe it or not. They're living out a certain existence. Right? And also the energy around them is very bright. That's usually how you know a person is dreaming versus a person who is passed away.
Celebrities who sold their souls for fame. The Weeknd. Now.
Yeah, that's not how he really looks, is it?
Sam Smith. Now. Doja Cat. Now. Billie Eilish. Now.
I mean, like, the price of fame, like, they just want to be famous so bad. I don't understand the mindset. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Sent you to this clip.
This is good, Chop. That just scared the shit out.
Now, before y'all go in the comments, did y'all see the demon look inside the video? Now, the girl had to double back and look back herself like, did I see what I just see? Yes, she did. So she happened to look back like, did anybody else notice the man in the video? Now, y'all, look now. That looks like some Chucky, Jeepers Creepers, I Know What You Did Last Summer video. Yo, I think I would have picked up all my stuff and I would have just stopped recording, stopped streaming, and I would have been going. Nah, she looked like she was somewhere eating inside of like the mall area or something like that, like she was eating. My food would have been ruined. My whole day would have just been, what? I need a part 2. We need a part 2 because who was the man? Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'll call y'all back.